Tariffs are already hitting the aftermarket, prices are going up, and one of the biggest riding areas in the country is getting an overhaul. There's a lot happening right now, so let's get into it. FAS Friday Off-Road Report! What's going on, everyone? JT from Team FAS Motorsports. Welcome to the FAS Friday Off-Road Report, where every Friday we break down the biggest news in the off-road world, including products, upcoming events, other cool things all happening across the industry. If you want your product or event featured in next week's episode, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Now let's jump into this week's update. Quick update from last week's episode. We talked about BRP pausing shipments of most side-by-sides and ATVs into the U.S. We're questioning whether the tariff changes are going to start impacting the rest of the industry. Well, we're already starting to see that happen. As a dealer, we work with over 750 aftermarket brands, so we get a pretty real-time look at what's going on behind the scenes. And since last week's episode, we've already seen 8 aftermarket companies announce price increases starting May 1st. So this just isn't a BRP situation anymore. This is starting to affect the aftermarket side of the industry too, which means parts, accessories, and builds are very likely to start creeping up in price. So whether that's going to slow things down or people are going to just start building anyway, I guess we're going to find out, but are you guys still looking to pull trigger on parts as things getting tight? Are you going to hold off and see where the prices go? Let us know in the comments below. Now we'll get into some new products. First new product this week, PRP Seats just released front and rear door bags for the 2024 and newer Razor XP1000. If you drive one of these, you already know storage is always an issue. These mount directly to the doors, keep your essentials within reach, and add integrated knee pads for extra comfort. Next up, Rough Country dropped a rear cargo rack for the CF Moto U-Force U10 Pro. Heavy duty steel, tons of extra storage, and multiple tie down points. You still keep full use of your dump bed, so great product right there. Another one from Rough Country this week, high clearance control arms for the Pioneer 1006 models, designed to give you more ground clearance and better suspension geometry. So if you're riding aggressive terrain or lifting your machine, this is a performance upgrade that actually helps. When you're upgrading your machine, are you guys looking for more utility stuff like storage, or are you guys after performance upgrades like suspension and tuning? Let us know in the comments below. All right, quick industry updates this week. First up, major long-term update coming out to Glamis. The Bureau of Land Management just laid out their plan for a brand new ranger station at the Imperial Sand Dunes. This is a multi-year project starting summer of 2026. Operations to move the temporary facilities over to cement flats, which will be obviously the ranger station that's there now. They're going to move over to cement flats. Fall of 2026, the current ranger station, which is over 40 years old, whatever they didn't move into the temp area, I guess they're going to demolish the rest of it. Then in 2027, construction starts on the new facility, and they're expecting to be open for 2028. The focus of the projects is improving visitor services, upgrading BLM operations, and expanding on-site medical care facility, which is a big deal. Having proper emergency response right there on site can literally save lives, and especially in serious situations, at least benefit everyone. They're also improving visitor parking areas, which if you've been there during peak weekends, you already know is much needed. Now shifting over to the performance side, Amsoil just announced a partnership with JH Diesel. This is a pretty solid move. JH Diesel is known for high-performance diesel builds, and it's built a strong following through content. So expect to see some real-world testing, builds, and product content coming out of that partnership. Again, like we said on the last 2 episodes, content creators and industry people are crossing back and forth in a big way now. And over in Supercross at the Cleveland round on April 18th, Ken Roczen took the overall 450 win in a rain-soaked Triple Crown. That win puts him 1 point behind the championship lead. Hunter Lawrence is still holding on to first, but obviously super tight if it's 1 point. So that should be pretty interesting. Which one catches you guys' attention? Industry upgrades, brand partnerships, you want to see more race coverage? Drop us a comment below. Now let's get into upcoming events. First up, Red Rock Rally is going down right now, April 23rd through April 25th in Moab, Utah. You got access to some of the most iconic trails in the country, plus vendors, contests, and raffles. Also on April 25th, the Coconut Valley Riders Poker Run. Sign-ups from 10 a.m. to noon, either at the Lakeview Inn or Country Trails Brewing Company. That's over in the Northeast PA region. Great way to get out and ride and support a local club. April 26th, the Guilford Fire Department Benefit UTV Poker Run. Another laid-back ride supporting a great cause. April 27th through May 3rd, the Busco Beach Mud Bash, one of the biggest mud events on the East Coast. May 16th, the annual poker run in memory of Brian Shear in Uniondale, PA. That's always a great turnout. Again, I mentioned it before. We always attend that one. It's a great cause, a really good time. Also that weekend, family fun ride at Bear Creek Sportsman in Hancock, New York. Dirt bike only. Great opportunity for the family to get out and ride. Very family-friendly event. May 19th, it's Bike Night Brew in Rock Hill. That benefits the Knights Order Law Enforcement Officer Motorcycle Club. Out on the West Coast, Hot Night /X Round 3. Full-on side-by-side action racing in the desert. Again, same date. And finally, 24 hours of Appalachia, endurance racing for built rigs, side-by-sides and adventure bikes. Definitely not an average weekend ride. For Memorial Day weekend, Mudapalooza 2026 is happening May 22nd through the 25th. That's a full weekend of riding, camping, and just a great kickoff to summer. So, question for this segment is, what are you guys choosing? Local rides, big events, some racing? What is your go-to? Do you have time to plan a trip, or do you just kind of stay and do as many local events as possible? All right, let's talk some deals this week. Right now, there are a bunch of brands running sales. We're matching, beating prices wherever we can. One that we've done that's coming to an end here, Obor Tires. We have 5% off right now on sets of 4. That's ending April 30th. So you've been thinking about tires. Now's a good time to jump on that before it's over. But more importantly, with everything going on with tariffs and supplier costs, we're already seeing price increases hitting around May 1st. So you've been thinking about picking something up. Now's the time to do it before you hit those increases. So are you guys going to be buying now to beat the prices, or are you going to wait it out and see what happens? All right, let's jump into this week's question. What's the first upgrade you recommend for your new side-by-side? Honestly, the first thing I always tell people is protection, reliability, safety. Make sure you have a spare belt, proper maintenance parts, basic protection upgrades. One of our first things we always suggest is upgrading your harnesses from your standard seat belts. That's like a given. You should always do that, especially in the sport side-by-sides. I know it's a little more tough in the utility ones, but a good set of harnesses keep you planted in the seat. Makes a huge difference when you're riding aggressively. Power is great, but it doesn't matter if your machine isn't reliable or safe. If you got a question you want featured, drop it in the comments below, and we'll get it on next week. That's it for this week's FAS Friday Off-Road Report. If you want your product, event, or question featured in next week's report, drop a comment below. We check them every week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. If you want to support the channel, grab new merch at fasmerch.shop or shop parts and accessories at teamfasmotorsports.com, and we'll see you next Friday.
FAS Friday Off-Road Report. FAS Friday Off-Road Report.